morning. Welcome to Morning Special. 여러분 안녕하세요. 11월 6일 수요일 최수진의 Morning Special입니다. There's no such thing as fairy godmothers or schools for wizards, but somehow magic seems to exist in the world of sports. And a few have placed their names in the history of sports of an entire nation, and it's more the source of pride for us, because such living legend is none other than a Korean star coach, Park Hang-seo. 2002년 한일 월드컵에서 거스 히딩크 감독을 보좌하며 한국 축구의 4강 신화를 일궈낸 정혜성 호치민시티 감독과 박항서 베트남 대표팀 감독이 베트남 축구 한류의 전성시대를 열고 있습니다. 정혜성 호치민시티 감독은 베트남 프로축구 V리그 올해의 감독으로 선정됐고 박항서 베트남 대표팀 감독은 아세안 축구연맹 올해의 감독상 수상이 유력합니다. 특히 2017년 베트남 대표팀 사령탑을 맡은 박항서 감독은요. 지난해 아시안게임 4강 신화에 이어 스즈키컵에서 베트남이 10년 만에 우승컵을 선물하면서 베트남 국민 영웅의 자리에 올랐죠. Our most sincere congratulations to these two incredible men, and we certainly follow their achievements all along the way. With that in mind, let me give you today's first quiz question. Coach Park is known to have achieved this in Vietnam. The press has called it the Park Hang-seo blank. 1번, the Park Hang-seo magic. 2번, the Park Hang-seo potion. 3번, the Park Hang-seo dance. 청취자 여러분의 많은 참여 기다리고 있습니다. 퀴즈 정답 보내주신 분들 중에 추첨을 통해서 총 5분께 고칼슘 살룬 두유 보내드리겠습니다. 또 여러분의 소식과 소감 그리고 방송 중 궁금한 질문 있으시면 보내주세요. 짧은 문자 50원, 긴 문자 100원에 샵 1045고요. 반디 게시판이나 카카오톡 플러스 이용도 가능합니다. Okay, then let's kick off today's show with today's global headlines. 세계 각국 언론사들의 어떤 헤드라인이 올라왔는지 살펴보는 시간입니다. Touch Global Headlines.
"15 nations have agreed on the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership, the world's largest trade pact.
세계 최대 자유무역 협정 FTA인 영내 포괄적 경제 동반자 협정 Rcep가 타결됐습니다.
The Trump administration has started to formally pull out of the Paris climate deal.
도널드 트럼프 미국 행정부가 파리 기후변화 협약 탈퇴를 위한 공식 절차에 돌입했습니다.
Chinese President Xi Jinping has met Hong Kong's chief executive Carrie Lam for the first time since protests began in June.
시진핑 중국 국가주석이 송환법 반대 시위 사태 이후 처음으로 캐리 람 홍콩 행정장관과 만났습니다.
Guatemalan President-elect Alejandro Giammattei has said he will not recognize the government of Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro.
알레한드로 지아마테이 과테말라 대통령 당선인이 베네수엘라의 마두로 정부와 단교하겠다고 밝혔습니다.
China is expected to process a total of 2.8 billion deliveries next week as the result of a massive domestic shopping spree.
중국의 연중 최대 온라인 쇼핑 할인 행사인 광군제의 영향으로 다음 주 중국 택배 물량이 총 28억 건에 이를 것이라는 전망이 나왔습니다. And for the headlines and more this Wednesday morning, I'm joined by Steve. Good morning.
Good morning. Happy Wednesday to you.
Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday to our listeners. Hope everybody's off to a nice start. Another beautiful morning outside today.
It is indeed. Well, we are off to a magical start. Of course, good news coming in from Vietnam. Our star coach, Park Hang-seo, doing there ever so well. He's up on this list of possible awardees for a very prestigious award going out to coaches.
Quite the celebrity.
He is a celebrity.
Just like, and you mentioned in the opening, just like Gus Hiddink was here in Korea back in 2002. Were you here at the time?
I was.
Did you attend any of
I went to Gwanghwamun.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, see, now Gwanghwamun is the one place that I never thought to go because this is my honest thought.
Yeah.
How can people go to the bathroom?
You can't.
Right?
Yeah, everyone talks about it, and I did too. And I was like, so we have to go before we actually sit down and then drink as little as possible.
Exactly.
And that's what we did.
Yeah, right. But tell us, what was it like to be, because that was, how many people were at Gwanghwamun Square?
I don't know, it was packed.
Yeah, more than 500,000 maybe?
Possibly.
Yeah,
I don't know the numbers at all, but I just remember the vibe. It was crazy, but it's such a good kind of crazy. I loved it.
I remember not going to any games, but I do remember watching many games in chicken restaurants.
Oh, yeah, that was good too.
My mom was visiting Korea at the time, so that was cool for her to be able to experience the electricity in the city, and I still remember the games against Italy and Spain. Yeah, it was fun.
Talking about Vietnam, we actually have someone writing in from Vietnam this morning. 엄마 미소라는 아이디 쓰시는 분이요. 저 지금 베트남이에요. 내일 한국 가요 하셨습니다. Wow, can you feel the Park Hang-seo magic there, I wonder?
Yeah, right. I wonder what the local media is like, the sports media talking about it, yeah? I still haven't been to Vietnam, really want to go someday. Where are you in Vietnam?
그러게요.
Tell us, and tell us how the weather is. I always want to know about the weather, don't I?
It's hot, I would imagine.
I would hope so.
그렇습니다. 최지은 님도 행복한 수요일입니다. Good morning 하셨고요. 변은경 님, Good morning. 빛이 맑은 아침입니다. 함우진 님은요. 날이 점점 쌀쌀해지네요. 모두 건강 조심하세요 하셨습니다.
'Tis the season of colds, isn't it?
It is.
I think I've finally gotten over mine, so do be careful. Wash your hands a lot these days and drink lots of waters and juices and things like that.
Yes. All right. Well, let's go over the headlines.
15 nations, this is headline number 1 this morning. 15 nations have agreed on the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership, the world's largest trade pact.
세계 최대 자유무역 협정인 영내 포괄적 경제 동반자 협정 RCEP가 타결됐습니다.
Yeah, right. That's what they call it. The Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership, RCEP, includes the 10-member grouping of Southeast Asian nations along with China, Korea, Japan, Australia, and New Zealand. So that's 15 out of the 16 nations that have concluded the negotiations, and the formal signing is now expected for 2020. India, not looking like they're going to be a part of it right now, but still, this is going to be the largest agreement in the world of its sort.
네, 그렇습니다. 세계 최대 규모의 FTA가 될 예정인데요. 아세안 국가 10개국, 그 다음에는 협력국 6개국이 그동안에는 계속 얘기를 해왔으나 그중에서 인도가 우리는 사인하고 싶지 않다라고 해서 지금은 이제 15개국만 타결을 선언한 상태입니다. 그 나머지 5개국은요. 한중일 그리고 호주와 뉴질랜드입니다. It's been many years since these talks have been going on.
They've talked about this for over 7 years, or just about 7 years. 28 rounds of negotiations and 18 ministerial meetings. So this has been a long time coming.
And how big is this?
Well, if India does decide to join, and they still potentially could, and even if they do sign the deal without India, they've said that India will have the option to join later on if they want to. If it includes India with the 16 nations in total, that would account for a third of the global gross domestic product and nearly half of the world's population. But even without India's population, the deal would include 2.1 billion people.
That's amazing. 세계 최대 규모라고 말하는 이유는요. 이렇게 아세안 국가들과 그 외에 지금 말씀드린 국가들의 인구를 합치면은 전 세계 인구의 절반입니다. 그리고 세계 총생산 GDP는 전 세계의 이제 3분의 1 그 정도로 이제 큰 FTA라고 볼 수 있겠는데요. 물론 지금은 인도가 우린 참여하지 않겠다라고 얘기를 했지만 아직까지는 더 생각할 수 있는 그런 여지는 있다고 하고요. 내년 2020년에 최종 타결 또 서명을 추진하죠.
Yeah, and the reason India has stated for not wanting to sign this deal, this was a quote from Prime Minister Narendra Modi saying it does not address satisfactorily India's outstanding issues and concerns. And I think a bigger issue here, he was saying that if this deal was signed by India, the Indian market could see an influx of cheap Chinese goods, and that would hurt India's economy, its middle and lower classes, perhaps.
그러니까 뭐 각국이 이게 과연 이제 자국한테 이득이 더 될지 그런 좀 득실을 많이 계산해봤겠죠. 인도 같은 경우에는 좀 손해를 볼 것 같다라고 일단은 얘기를 하고 있습니다만 아직은 좀 더 지켜봐야 될 것 같고요. 우리나라 같은 경우에는 이제 제조업 수출에는 굉장히 좋을 것으로 그렇게 전망이 됩니다. 농수산업 같은 경우에는 우려스럽다라는 전망도 있네요. Nonetheless, the government here in Korea has said that we do expect a bright future for this FTA and to be part of this the largest FTA in the world, of course, is going to hopefully help the economy here.
Absolutely.
Okay, let's go on to our second headline.
The Trump administration has started to formally pull out of the Paris climate deal.
도널드 트럼프 미국 행정부가 파리 기후 변화 협약 탈퇴를 위한 공식 절차에 돌입했습니다.
So for more than 2 years, President Trump has been talking about pulling the United States out of the Paris Climate Agreement on Monday, his administration officially began the withdrawal process. We talked about this previously on the show that November 4th was the day for that. So the withdrawal process itself, it takes a year and it won't become official until at least the day after the 2020 presidential election. That timing is really, really interesting.
그렇습니다. 타이밍 얘기를 해주셨는데요. 몇 가지 날짜를 좀 짚고 넘어가자면은 트럼프 대통령이 한 2년 전부터 사실은 파리 기후 협약을 탈퇴하고 싶다라는 말은 계속 해왔습니다. 그런데 공식 절차에 돌입할 수 없었던 이유는 2016년 11월 4일에 미국이 파리 협약에 가입을 하게 됐는데 그때로부터 이제 3년 동안 탈퇴를 금하는 그런 규정이 있다고 합니다. 그래서 2019년 11월 4일이 되자마자 탈퇴를 이제 공식적으로 발표를 하고 선언을 한 것이고요. 유엔에 지금 통보한 상태입니다. 앞으로 1년은 더 있어야 공식 탈퇴가 되는데 그 1년 후가 또 마침 미국 대선 바로 다음 날입니다. Lots of very interesting dates as you mentioned here.
Absolutely. And if Trump loses in 2020, the next president could get back into the deal in just 30 days. But that would have to come with a whole new set of, I guess, well, not what the United States had agreed to before. They would have to come up with a new list of things.
네, 그렇습니다. 만약에 트럼프 대통령이 재선에 성공을 하게 되면은 지금과 뭐 같은 방침으로 파리 협약에서 탈퇴한 상태로 가겠지만 다른 누군가가 새 미국 대통령이 된다라고 하면은 다시 처음부터 파리 협약에 가입을 해야 하는 그런 상황이 될 수도 있습니다. The Democratic Party has criticized Trump, and some of the major parties in the Paris Agreement, like China, have also criticized him. So, it does seem like Trump is the only one who's very sure of his move.
He's always sure of his moves, and he is sure of this one as well. But you're right, people do criticize this, and what they're saying in the States is that this is not an economic loss. The penalty is in shame in discrediting U.S. leadership. That's a quote from someone high up in the United States, the guy by the name of Jacoby.
그렇습니다. 이제 나머지 파리 협약 멤버들 같은 경우에는 이제 앞으로 온실가스 감축 노력에 큰 차질이 빚어지지 않을까 이렇게 우려를 하고 있어요. 미국이 내년 11월 4일부로 공식 탈퇴를 할 경우에는 최초로 파리 협약을 탈퇴한 국가가 됩니다. Let's go on to our next headline.
Chinese President Xi Jinping has met Hong Kong's chief executive Carrie Lam for the first time since protests began in June.
시진핑 중국 국가주석이 송환법 반대 시위 사태 이후 처음으로 캐리 람 홍콩 행정장관과 만났습니다.
Right. So Carrie Lam and the Chinese President Xi Jinping, they spoke in Shanghai. We talked about the international fair that was happening in all of those American companies. Right. Well, that was on the sidelines of this. Miss Lam was in Beijing on October 1st. That was to mark the 70th anniversary of the founding of the People's Republic of China. But there were no reports at that time time of her meeting with senior Chinese officials. But she went back to Hong Kong shortly after that, and that's when she invoked these emergency powers to bypass Hong Kong's legislature, and that's when we saw the mask ban for public assemblies or for the protests. But now she has met with Xi Jinping, and the Chinese leader has offered his support for her.
Right. And what else did he say apart from saying that he supports her?
He said that he supports her, and he said that he supports the police as well. So we don't know whether that's going to be stricter measures in Hong Kong or not.
네, 그렇습니다. 시 주석이 지금 홍콩 시위, 반정부 시위가 시작된 이래로 처음으로 캐리 람 행정장관을 만났는데요. 강력한 지지를 또 재차 확인하기도 했었고, 그 다음에는 그 홍콩 경찰이 어떤 질서를 회복하기 위해서 폭력과 혼란을 제압해야 한다는 것에 아주 전적으로 동의한다라고 얘기를 했습니다. 뿐만 아니라 이제 홍콩과 마카오는 특구잖아요. 근데 이 지역이 중국에 대해서, 베이징에 대해서 어떤 도전을 하는 것도 용납할 수 없다라는 입장도 전한 것으로 그렇게 외신은 보도를 하고 있습니다. The One China, Two policy is of course the stance that China has all along. Beijing, Xi Jinping is saying that, we might have different administrations, but essentially you are also a part of my country. That's what he's saying.
Yes, and he was also quoted as saying, ending violence and chaos and restoring order remain the most important task for Hong Kong at present. But there's But there's a Hong Kong-based expert on Chinese politics by the name of Willie Lam, and he said that Beijing is showing support for Carrie Lam for the time being. That's a quote, for the time being. And also the quote continued to say, it doesn't mean that they like Carrie Lam, or it doesn't mean that they think highly of her performance. It's just that if they don't seem to be supporting her, then it will be impossible for her to carry out her duty in Hong Kong.
Well, the Hong Kong anti-government protests have been continuing on for about 5 months now, and there is no resolution in sight. Let's go on to our next headline.
Guatemalan President-elect Alejandro Giammattei has said that he will not recognize the government of Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro.
알레한드로 지아마테이 과테말라 대통령이요. 대통령 당선인입니다. 내년 1월에 이제 공식 취임을 하는데요. 베네수엘라의 마두로 정부와 단교하겠다고 밝혔습니다. He says he's going to cut all ties with Maduro, but he supports the opposition
leader, Juan Guaido. Right.
Okay.
So Giammattei, he's going to take office on January 14th. He won an election in August, and he told the reporters he was speaking to, it's the right thing to do. There are other South American governments that will do the same. He didn't go into further details on that, but it is a diplomatic decision that's being adopted by other nations this week, and is one supported by U.S. foreign policy as well.
Exactly. And El Salvador has been another country that has done something very similar. 이번에 이제 그 과테말라 대통령 당선인이 이제 내년 1월 14일에 취임을 하게 되면은 니콜라스 마두로의 정부, 베네수엘라의 현 정부와 모든 외교 관계를 끊겠다라고 하면서 후안 과이도 정부만을 인정하겠다라고 밝혔거든요. 최근에 엘살바도르도 매우 비슷한 행보를 보이고 있습니다. This seems to be a trend in South America, South and Central America.
Yeah, that's right. And as I mentioned, this is supported by U.S. foreign policy. U.S. officials have been working very closely with both Guatemala and El Salvador over the crisis in Venezuela over the past little while. So it's not a surprise to see support from the United States.
Venezuela is being called a country of two presidents, and the economic situation there is terrible right now. We will talk more about that in our news focus story in just a bit. Let's go on to our final headline.
China is expected to process a total of 2.8 billion deliveries next week as the result of a massive domestic shopping spree.
중국의 연중 최대 온라인 쇼핑 할인 행사인 광군제의 영향으로 다음 주 중국 택배 물량이 총 28억 건에 이를 것이라는 전망이 나왔습니다.
Isn't that an amazingly high number?
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, so this is China's biggest online shopping discount event of the year. And as we said, 2.8 billion deliveries between the days of November 11th and November 18th. And the discounts, they start with the Singles Day event.
Exactly. 광군제가 11월 11일인데요. 영어로는 이제 Singles Day라고 부르기도 합니다. 합니다. This started off as being a day to celebrate people who are literally single.
One.
Exactly. But then over the years, it became this massive commercial day. And apparently now, it's not only the biggest online shopping event in China, but given the scope of China, it's the biggest e-commerce day, or I suppose days, in the world.
Yeah, so the daily average number of parcel processing is forecast to reach 350 million a day, and the highest number reaches 520 million a day. That's about 3 times the average daily delivery throughout the 174 million since the second quarter of this year.
네.
I wonder, though, what people are buying.
그러게요. 저도 뭐를 이제 많이 구매할까 좀 궁금한데 미국의 블랙 프라이데이랑 많이 비교를 하기도 하더라고요. 이제 최대 할인 행사이기 때문에 11월 11일부터 18일 사이에 8일 동안 이렇게 28억 건에 이르는 택배 물량이 있을 거라고 하는데요. 작년에는 같은 기간 18억 건이 있었다고 합니다. They're expecting an increase of about 1 billion this year from last year.
If you are a mail carrier in China, you might want to cancel your social plans for the next little while.
Exactly. Those are the headlines for this morning. Let's remind our listeners of the quiz.
The quiz question this morning. All right, so Coach Park is known to have achieved this in Vietnam. The press has called it the Pak Hang So blank. Is it number 1, magic, number 2, potion, or number 3, dance? I always know the answer to the quiz question, but this morning, I must admit, I do not.
Okay. Well, there's something...
I'll text in my answer, too.
Okay. There's something mystical about the answer today. That's a hint. If you know the answer, send it in to us. 짧은 문자 50원, 긴 문자 100원에 샵 1045 반디 게시판이나 카카오톡 플러스 이용도 가능합니다. 추첨을 통해서 총 5분께 고칼슘 쌀룬 두유 보내드릴게요. Our first song this morning is for everyone who's still in bed. Everybody, get up. It's 5. You're listening to Morning Special. Let's take a look at your messages. 황지윤 님이요. 방금 눈 떴는데 노래 들으니까 잠이 확 깨네요. 라고 하셨습니다. That's right. The best way to get up is with uplifting music.
Oh, absolutely.
I don't know if that was uplifting, but it was definitely energetic.
Oh, you need energetic music in the morning to get you going. Ballads just don't do the job,
no,
right?
they put you right back to sleep.
That's right.
그리고 끝번호 8502 쓰시는 분이요. 아침부터 2002년 월드컵 추억으로 돌아가 봅니다. 그때 연애를 하고 신랑을 만나 지금은 그 아이와 아침에 라디오를 듣고 있다니 오라고 보내주셨어요.
You met your husband during the 2002 World Cup.
Yeah.
Oh, how cool.
Wow, that is cool. I think a lot of people, they sort of found the love of their lives during the World Cup. I know a couple of people who met their current spouses there just by cheering for the team. They were like, oh, hey, do you want to go and get some beer? And,
The thing that I noticed was that, and I didn't know this about World Cups before, and maybe it's not true for every World Cup. Maybe it was unique to Korea. But everybody was in such a good mood, and everybody was so friendly. Usually in Seoul, people are quite shy about speaking to strangers, right? That was not the case that I witnessed. Everybody was talking to everybody, so you're right. Maybe a lot of people met their loved one, their future loved one during the World Cup.
Well, our writer says that child is probably about 17 years old now.
If you do the math.
Wow. Was that long ago, was it? Oh, my goodness.
2002.
그러네요. 벌써 17년 전이네요.
Almost 18 years now.
와우. 쫑쫑 슈슈님이요. 박항서 감독님은 우리에게 큰 희망과 감동의 아이콘 같아요. 오늘 부쩍 추워졌으니 모두들 감기 걸리지 않게 든든하게 챙겨 입으세요. 하셨습니다. Yeah, he gives us a lot of hope. He's really just a magical person right now. Apparently, if you go to Vietnam and you mention that you're Korean, that's it. You get special treatment.
Oh, really?
Just by saying you're Korean because of Park Hang-seo, the coach.
Nice.
Yeah.
Everybody should plan their vacations to Vietnam then these days. What about me if I say that I've lived in Korea for a long time?
I think you'll get that special treatment.
50% of the treatment anyway.
And, of course, if you'd like to dress in layers, that would be very wise to do today.
Sweater weather outside.
Sweater weather is another expression used at this time of the year. It's getting more and more so. So yes, bundle up and make sure you stay away from the cold flu. or the cold bug, I should say. 문채원님이요. 오늘은 저의 생일입니다. 그리고 어렸을 때 같은 회사 다녔던 언니를 만나기로 했는데요. 아주 오랜만이라서 설레어요.
Happy
하셨습니다.
birthday. Good morning. And
Happy
happy birthday to
birthday.
you. I hope you have a great day. And I hope you have a lovely breakfast, an amazing lunch, and an incredible dinner.
Yes, absolutely. So yeah, absolutely. I want to say happy birthday to 문채원님.
We should have a morning special birthday song. Or
Yeah.
EBS should
Let's sing for her now.
Do you want to?
Yeah,
Do you want to kick it off?
just a short version of the song.
Go on then.
Happy birthday to you.
문채원님.
Happy birthday to you.
문채원님.
Happy birthday, dear 문채원님.
Happy birthday to
To
We shouldn't sing to anybody anymore. I was going to say that EBS should just have a happy birthday show.
Oh yeah.
Because we have so many
2
listeners
hours.
here. Well, maybe we have so many listeners and so many birthdays, right? So we could just
true.
have a whole show dedicated to that.
Yeah, we'll have a lovely day today. Everyone out there as well.
Birthday or no birthday.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Keep sending in your messages and greetings. We have 5 고칼슘 쌀룬 두유's for you. In the meantime, let's check our news focus stories. 자, 첫 번째 news focus 살펴볼게요. 영국의 인권 변호사 제프리 로버트슨이 런던 대형 박물관은 세계 최대 작물 보관소라면서 약탈 문화재의 대부분은 전시조차 안 되고 있다고 비판의 목소리를 높였습니다. 그러면서 그는 대형 박물관을 비롯해 유럽과 미국 주요 박물관들은 과거의 정복자나 식민 지배자로서의 피지배 민족들로부터 This is a long sentence and I am getting a little tongue-tied here. Let's try that again. 대형 박물관을 비롯해서 유럽과 미국 주요 박물관들은 과거 정복자나 식민 지배자로서 피지배 민족들로부터 강탈한 문화재를 돌려줘야 한다고 강조했습니다. Let's listen to the story.
Leading human rights lawyer Geoffrey Robertson has pointed the finger at the British Museum for exhibiting pilfered cultural property by a leading human rights lawyer, Geoffrey Robertson, who is calling for European and U.S. institutions to return taken treasures. He criticized the museum for allowing an unofficial stolen goods tour, which stops at the Elgin marbles, Hoa Hakananai, the Benin bronzes, and other pilfered cultural property. The 3 items he mentioned are wanted by Greece, Easter Island, and Nigeria, respectively.
So even people in England, in the UK, are saying the UK should return items to where they belong.
Yeah, and it's hard to argue with that claim, right? If things have been picked up throughout the course of history and then brought back to the British Museum, and he criticizes other museums as well. It's
Yeah.
not just the British Museum.
Exactly.
Saying that if you've taken things from another location at some point throughout time, then it's time to give that back. And the 3 things that we mentioned in the article, those 3 things belong to Greece, Easter Island, and Nigeria. And like I said, it's hard to argue with the claim.
네, 그렇습니다. 런던의 대형 박물관, 영어로는 British Museum이라고 하는데요. 여기에 이제 약탈된 문화재가 굉장히 많다라고 하면서 돌려줘야 할 때다 이렇게 주장을 한 것입니다. He has pointed the finger at the museum.
This one's pretty easy to understand because this one is quite literal if you
Yeah.
think about the action of your hand. So if you are accusing someone of doing something, then you take your hand and your arm and you point it at and your finger and you point it at that person and you say you did it. So of course it's not a literal meaning when we use this expression. It's a figurative meaning for blaming someone.
맞아요. 손가락질하다 또는 비난하다라는 뜻의 point the finger at something or someone이 되겠습니다. And another interesting expression here is pilfered.
Pilfer is a fancy word that means to steal. So if I'm looking around and I say, where's my pen? Sue, did you pilfer my pen? It's a cute,
걸렸다.
it's a cute fancy way to say steal. Usually I think it's used for items, like a pen or something cheap or something like that.
yeah.
But in this case, of course, we're not using it that way.
네, steal과 좀 뉘앙스 차이가 있긴 있습니다. pilfer 그러면은 P-I-L-F-E-R인데요. 그 좀도둑질을 하다. 그러니까 이제 아주 큰 것보다는 좀 작은 것을 훔쳤을 때 쓸 수 있는 동사가 되겠고요. 여기서는 형용사로 pilfered라고 쓰였습니다. The cultural property that has been stolen or pilfered, he says, should be returned. All right, let's listen to this story one more time.
Leading human rights lawyer Jeffrey Robertson has pointed the finger at the British Museum for exhibiting pilfered cultural property. The leading human rights lawyer is calling for European and U.S. institutions to return taken treasures. He criticized the museum for allowing an unofficial stolen goods tour, which stops at the Elgin marbles, Hoa Hakananai, the Benin bronzes, and other pilfered cultural property. The three items he mentioned are wanted by Greece, Easter Island, and Nigeria, respectively.
자, 두 번째 뉴스 포커스입니다. Steve, Merry Christmas if you're in Venezuela.
You? Yeah, that's right.
그렇습니다. 아직 크리스마스가 아닌데요. 왜 제가 이렇게 인사를 했는지 궁금하시죠? 최악의 경제 위기를 겪고 있는 베네수엘라에서는 예년보다 일찍 크리스마스 시즌이 공식 선포됐습니다. 마두로 대통령은 때이른 크리스마스 인사와 새해 인사를 나누며 연말 분위기 연출에 애를 쓰는 모습이 역력했는데요. 무슨 이유일까요? Let's listen to the story.
The Christmas season was officially declared earlier than usual in Venezuela as President Nicolas Maduro kicked things off at the first-class Hotel Humboldt in Caracas on November 3rd local time. The event showed signs of forcibly creating a Christmas atmosphere. Behind the president were figurines of Mary, Joseph, and Jesus, and a large cross installed on Mount Avila lit up a month ahead of schedule. Critics point out that Maduro's decision to open the holiday season a month ahead is a feeble attempt to hide the dismal condition of the nation. It is also suspected that the rush to turn on the cross was intended to cover up an ongoing nationwide power shortage issue.
네, 베네수엘라가 지금 굉장히 심각한 경제난을 겪고 있다고 하죠. 경제 위기 속에서 전기 없이 생활하고 있는 사람들도 굉장히 많다고 하고요. 제대로 된 식수도 공급이 안 돼서 고생하고 있는 사람들이 굉장히 많다고 합니다. 베네수엘라 얘기를 일부 헤드라인에서 우리가 잠깐 언급을 하기도 했었는데 in the headline we talked about how the new president of Guatemala says that he doesn't recognize Maduro as the president. He says he only recognizes Guaido, and right now Maduro says, you know what? We don't have a problem in Venezuela. Electricity is fine. Look at the Christmas lights behind me.
Look at the cross, exactly.
Look at the cross. 그래서 약간의 쇼가 아니냐 이런 비난을 좀 받고 있어요. 경제난을 좀 덮기 위해서 텔레비전에 나와서 이제 그 연설을 하면서 뒤에 나와 있는 화려한 크리스마스 불빛을 좀 약간 전시용으로 보이는 게 아니냐라는 비판을 받고 있는 겁니다.
And that's why we said that he was forcibly creating a Christmas atmosphere. It's November. It's early November.
Exactly.
It's not usually the time to turn on the Christmas lights. Some people do, as does President Nicolas Maduro. But if you are forcing something, it means that you're trying too hard to create that thing. Don't force it, we say. Maybe if you're trying to tell jokes, right? And if you're trying to be funny, then you can tell when someone's trying too hard to be funny, oh, they're forcing it. Meaning it's not organic, it's not coming naturally.
그렇습니다. 강제로, 억지로 뭔가를 하다라는 뜻으로 forcibly 여기서 쓰였는데요. Creating a Christmas atmosphere. 억지로, 강제로. 지금 보이는 라디오의 영상을 보시면은 아시겠지만 뒤에 반짝반짝 불이 조명이 빛나고 있고요. 그 다음에는 Christmas is of course about Jesus, so you have Maria there and the sort of nativity scene going on in the background. 근데 아직은 너무 때이른 거 아니냐? 그러면서 베네수엘라 안에서도 국민들은 뭔가요? 약간 이런 반응을 보이고 있다고 합니다. 전 세계적으로도 마찬가지고. So Christmas is, of course, a huge event, and it does go on for a long time.
Yes, of
but
course.
Not this long.
No, I wouldn't think this long. You might find some decorations up in a few shops,
Yeah.
as it is a huge holiday in Latin America, but maybe not at this point in early November.
Exactly, and because the president has announced that the Christmas season has started, and he was making his sort of New Year greeting. So it was like, it's the end of the year, let's greet in the New Year, and people are going, it's November.
It was quite forced.
Yes, it was, yeah.
Yeah. And the critics, like I said, they were saying that this is his attempt, a feeble attempt to hide the very poor conditions of the country right now. So a feeble attempt is one where you're failing to impress someone. You're failing to convince someone. If I say I'm going to make some Korean food for you, I'm going to make this really beautiful Korean dinner for you, Sue, and then I attempt to make, I don't know, galbichim, right? But I create the galbichim and it's only like one piece of very small meat, and it doesn't even look good, and the sauce is red instead of brown, and you say, oh, this doesn't look, and I say, oh, sorry, that was a really feeble attempt. I failed to impress you. It's not good at all.
feeble 그러면은 뭔가 굉장히 약하다라는 뜻이 있습니다. 그래서 지금 현재 베네수엘라의 상황을 뭔가 좀 덮어두려고 하는 약한 시도가 아니었냐라는 비판을 받고 있다라는 것이고요. 뭐 크리스마스 분위기 자체야 뭐 사람들이 낼 수는 있습니다. 연말이 다가오고 있으니까. 그렇지만 공식적으로 대통령이 나서서 크리스마스 시작이 됐습니다라고 발표하는 것은 좀 오바가 아니냐 이렇게 보는 거죠. Let's listen to the story one more time.
The Christmas season was officially declared earlier than usual in Venezuela as President Nicolas Maduro kicked things off at the first-class Hotel Humboldt in Caracas on November 3rd local time. The event showed signs of forcibly creating a Christmas atmosphere. Behind the president were figurines of Mary, Joseph, and Jesus, and a large cross installed on Mount Avila lit up a month ahead of schedule. Critics point out that Maduro's decision to open the holiday season a month ahead is a feeble attempt to hide the dismal condition of the nation. It is also suspected that the rush to turn on the cross was intended to cover up an ongoing nationwide power shortage issue.
All right, and before we remind our listeners of the quiz, we have a question from one of our listeners, 정길자님이요. 아까 스티브 선생님이 저한테 Did you pilfer my pen? 그랬을 때 제가 딱 걸렸다 이렇게 얘기했는데요. 딱 걸렸네를 영어로는 뭐라고 하나요? How would you say that in English?
Busted.
Busted.
Yeah.
맞아, 그렇게 하면 됩니다.
I caught you, or I caught you red-handed. Well, actually, no, because if you catch someone red-handed,
You have to be in the act.
Yes, exactly. It implies that they are doing it at the time. We have an even more fun expression for that: to catch someone with their hand in the cookie jar.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, because think about it. If you told your child, no, you cannot have a cookie, but there's a jar of cookies, and then you turn around and their hand is literally in the cookie jar, then you catch them in the act. But we use that for other situations as well. Oh, I caught you with your hand in the cookie jar.
네, 현장에서 딱 걸렸을 때 뭔가 이렇게 훔치고 있을 때라든지 뭐 그럴 때는 I caught you red-handed. I was caught with my hand in the cookie jar. 이런 표현을 쓸 수 있겠고요. 그렇지 않으면 그냥 딱 걸렸네는 busted가 되겠습니다.
Yeah.
Okay, let's remind our listeners of the quiz.
Coach Park is known to have achieved this in Vietnam. The press has called it the Park Hang-seo blank. Is it number 1, magic, number 2, potion, or number 3, dance?
네, 짧은 문자 50원, 긴 문자 100원에 샵 1045로 보내주시고요. 무료 반디 게시판이나 카카오톡 플러스 이용도 가능합니다. 추첨을 통해서 총 5분께 고칼슘 살룬 두유 보내드리겠습니다. 크리스마스 얘기를 하다 보니까 크리스마스 노래가 좀 듣고 싶은데요. Don't you want to listen to a Christmas song, Steve?
Yes, I do. What is it?
It's Katy Perry, Cozy Little Christmas.
On November 6th. I like it.
You're listening to Morning Special. I think the song was, at the end there.
An abrupt ending.
An abrupt ending because it's not Christmas yet.
Yeah,
the
that's
song
okay.
knew it. The machine knew it. Let's go on to our next news focus story. 자, 다음 뉴스 포커스입니다. 95세 고령으로 미국 최장수 대통령을 기록 중인 지미 카터 전 미국 대통령이 죽음을 편안하게 느끼고 있다며 죽음은 이제 내게 문제가 되지 않는다. 다만 인권과 민주주의 활동, 주일학교에서 아이들을 가르쳤던 일은 그리울 것이라고 밝혔습니다. 그는 2015년 간암이 뇌까지 전이됐다는 진단을 받았지만 이후에도 하비tat 운동 등 인권과 평화를 위한 활동을 꾸준히 해왔습니다. Let's listen to the story.
Former President Jimmy Carter said Sunday that he found he was absolutely and completely at ease with death after doctors told him in 2015 that his cancer had spread to his brain. Carter teaches Sunday school lessons in his home state of Georgia, and he recently briefly touched on the state of the nation, saying, "Wouldn't it be nice if the United States of America could be a superpower in maintaining peace, in environmental policy, in treating people equally? See, that's the kind of superpower I'd like to have." When Carter celebrated his 95th birthday on October 1st, he became the oldest living former U.S. president.
At 95, as you mentioned, he is now, as of October 1st, the oldest living US president. And he says he's very comfortable with the idea of death, although it's I don't know how anyone can get to that state, but he obviously has.
I think maybe if you've lived 95 years, of course, I don't know either, but maybe if you've lived that long, then maybe you become more comfortable. But anyway, he teaches these Sunday school classes and will continue to do so as long as he's able to. That's what he said, as long as he's able to do it, because he loves it so much.
Exactly. It was at one of those Sunday schools, I believe, that he made this particular speech.
Yeah, that's right. He touched on the state of the nation. So when you touch on something, it means that you very briefly talk about it.
Right.
So if you are listening to a speech by your professor, and the professor briefly talks about changes coming up in the next semester, then you can say, yeah, the professor talked about things going on in the class and touched upon things happening next semester as well. Touched upon, you can use both of those.
네, 언급하다라는 뜻입니다. touch on 뭐뭐뭐 그래서 뒤에 그 주제가 나오면은 되겠고요. You can use this in any situation really. It's a very commonly used and useful expression.
Yes, absolutely. Anytime someone very briefly talks about something, then you can use this expression.
And we touched on many different headlines in the first part of the show.
And every day we touch on so many different expressions too.
Exactly. And that's why actually the headlines is called touch global headlines because we touch on them very, very briefly.
Exactly. Perfect expression then.
Okay, what's another one here?
Okay, this next one is really, really common too. And it's kind of a sentence, isn't it? Wouldn't it be nice, or it's the lead into a sentence. Wouldn't it be nice if? Okay, so this will take me a couple of minutes to explain, so please be patient. He said, wouldn't it be nice if the United States of America could be a superpower in maintaining peace, in environmental policy, or treating people equally? So in his opinion, the United States is not doing that currently. So we use this expression, wouldn't it be nice if, for things that don't currently exist or aren't currently happening.
Right. 뭐뭐뭐 하면 얼마나 좋을까라는 뜻의 wouldn't it be nice if를 쓸 수 있습니다. 특히 미국이나 영국 같은 이제 영어권 국가에서는요. 흔히들 주고받는 질문 중에 너는 어떤 초능력을 가지고 싶어? 이런 얘기들을 참 많이 주고받습니다. 뭐 슈퍼히어로가 많아서 그런지 모르겠는데 근데 이제 지미 카터 전 대통령이 미국이 만약에 전 세계 평화를 유지하는 그런 초능력을 가지고 있다면 얼마나 좋을까라는 얘기를 했어요. Of course, it implies many things.
Yes, but the main implication is that it doesn't exist or it's not happening right now.
Exactly. If you had a superpower, what would you like to have, Steve?
Oh, goodness, that's a good question. Teleportation, maybe? You could avoid the commutes every day?
Yeah. I'd love that idea, actually. I was going to say I'd love to fly, but teleporting is better.
Yeah,
it's quicker.
Yeah, exactly.
선생님은 순간이동 능력을 가지면 좋겠다 그랬고 저는 날고 싶다고 했는데 생각해보니까 나는 것보다 순간이동이 효율적이네요.
Yeah, right. The flying one, I don't know. That's a common answer to that question, but I've never really thought about that for myself. If you could teleport, if you could teleport, then it would take the travel aspect out of vacations as well, right? You could just
Oh, yeah.
arrive at your destination. But would that be
love that superpower.
Would it be as good? Isn't going to the airport and getting on the airplane and flying, isn't that all part of it?
Oh, yeah. That's true as
I
well.
don't know. I don't know, actually. Maybe it's better to just go there.
그래서 뭐 얼마나 좋을까라고 할 때 wouldn't it be nice if라는 표현을 쓸 수 있고요. 또 어떻게 많이 쓰이냐면 부모들이 아이들한테 Wouldn't it be nice if you tidied your room
Yeah, exactly.
once a year at least?
I'll give you an easier way to use this, right? Instead of saying, wouldn't it be nice if mo, 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 because that is a long sentence. You can use this as a reply as well. So when people say, and people say this all the time, oh, I wish something, something, something. Then you can reply, oh, wouldn't that be nice? So if Sue says, oh, yesterday we talked about
4-day work
Microsoft
weeks.
in Japan and their
I knew you were gonna
4-day
say that.
work week. And I
We
could
both have it on our minds.
Yeah, and then we could say, oh, wouldn't that
be nice?
Wouldn't that be nice? And there you go. That's a nice, easy one because that's only 4 words, right?
맞아요.
Wouldn't that be nice?
그럼 정말 좋겠네요. 라는 답변으로도 wouldn't that be nice? 라고 할 수 있습니다. Let's listen to this story one more time.
Former President Jimmy Carter said Sunday that he found he was absolutely and completely at ease with death after doctors told him in 2015 that his cancer had spread to his brain. Carter teaches Sunday school lessons in his home state of Georgia, and he recently briefly touched on the state of the nation, saying, "Wouldn't it be nice if the United States of America could be a superpower in maintaining peace, in environmental policy, in treating people equally? See, that's the kind of superpower I'd like to have." When Carter celebrated his 95th birthday on October 1st, he became the oldest living former U.S. president.
청취자 장미수 님이요. 지미 카터 전 대통령에 대해서 간암이 아니라 malignant melanoma 악성 흑색종입니다. 라고 제보를 해주셨습니다. 감사합니다. Okay, what is the answer to the quiz today?
Quiz question. Well, actually, I don't know. I said I didn't know, right? So I'll take a guess and you tell me if I'm right or wrong.
Sure.
Coach Park is known to have achieved this in Vietnam. The press has called it the Pak Hang So blank. Is it number 1, magic, number 2, potion, or number 3, dance? And you gave a clue earlier. You said it was mystical.
Yes,
But that could be magic or potion.
that's true.
I'm going to guess number 1, magic.
It is the right answer.
Hey, nice one.
Yay. 맞습니다. 1번 박항선 magic,죠? 1번이 정답이고요. 고가현님, 황선희님, 3140님, 8502님, 그리고 끝번호 9591 쓰시는 분 축하드립니다. 고칼슘 살룬두유 보내드릴게요. Steve, what is today's expression?
I want to do a little bit more of this one, wouldn't it be nice? Because we can use it so commonly. And you just said that the response in Korean is, 정겠네, right?
정말 뭐라 그럴까요? 얼마나 좋을까요?
Yeah,
이런
right.
거죠.
I've heard that so many times, right? And people use it all the time. So let's review this one just a little bit more because we can use it so commonly. So, Sue, just say anything. I wish.
I could be in the Maldives right now.
Oh, wouldn't that be nice? And notice the voice inflection there too. Oh, wouldn't that be nice?
맞아요. 이렇게 뭐라 그럴까요? 그냥 wouldn't that be nice 이렇게 하면 안 되고요. 네. 그 뉘앙스라든지 어감도 중요합니다. 정말 좋겠다. 지금 말디브에 가 있으면은 진짜 좋겠다. Wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah, right. Or you can sit around and you can think to your friends, you can chat with your friends, say, wouldn't it be nice if we both worked at the same company? Like Sue and Steve.
Or if I really hated you, I could say, wouldn't that be nice?
Well,
like I could say it sarcastically.
Didn't see that example coming, but I suppose that one works as well.
그래서 이제 조금 뭐 비꼬고 싶다라고 할 때는 어조를 그거 참 좋겠네 이런 식으로 wouldn't that be nice 이렇게 할 수도 있어요. 제 말을 어떻게 하느냐에 따라서 전혀 의미가 달라질 수 있다는 거 참고로 알아주시면 좋겠습니다. But I love being with you, Steve. You know that.
I don't.
김진희님이요. Beach Boys 노래 제목이기도 하죠. Wouldn't it be nice?
Yes, exactly.
그렇군요.
That's why it's great to hear this song right now because that's exactly what we just finished talking about.
Exactly. We're going to play it And do have a nice day, Steve. Thank you so much.
You guys have a great Wednesday, and we'll see you again on Thursday.
All right, fantastic.
Bye-bye.
Here's Wouldn't It Be Nice, taking us into hour 2 by the Beach Boys.